answer
It
your
might be in one of the newer
question,
templates, yeah. Wait, is it
Doing a
banana
your
or is it?
question
Oh, okay. So
was, how come there
go
aren't
to
co-ed
the
CSGO
website and
pro
go to
teams?
VoiceBreeder Banana.
So, pretty much to answer that question,
That's just like
there's just not enough women.
I'll do it
In my
after.
opinion, there's
Yeah.
just not enough women to get people at that skill level. So basically, if you think about it, how many pros are there in
Yeah, it's
comparison
also
to the
free
entire
download.
population of Counter-Strike?
Okay.
Every male player
Oh,
in
I see.
Counter-Strike,
Disco,
I'm sure, I don't have the statistics, but it's a fucking lot, right? And then the percentage of those players who go pro, very fucking small number. Very small number that go pro. On top of that, think about it from how many women play the game. And then think about how many of those women even compete. How many of those women who compete are even good enough to skim like the top? It's a very low number, and those women, like for example us, CLG Red, we're playing advanced. We're like 2 tiers under pro if you consider it through ESCA. So that's like pretty much the best of female CS right now, and we're still not good enough to compete at a pro level. But if you think about it, like it's just such a small pool of players that it's going to be really hard to get better players. It's just going to be less common. But if we had equal amount of female to male ratio in competitive CS, then I'm sure you would start seeing women at a higher level. I think it's just a matter of time. I don't think that like women or men are less or more capable at anything. I think there's probably some different skill sets that come with probably either gender. But yeah, I do think that, I mean, I'm better than a lot of male players, you know, like, and at the same time, there's a lot of male players that are better than me. So I hope that answers your question. Why is it separated? Female tournaments are to encourage more females to play, basically. Actually, I have this whole interview that would probably answer all your questions. Honestly, I think if more people just watched these types of videos, you would have your questions answered very quickly and people wouldn't have to repeat themselves as often. But basically, female tournaments are to encourage female players to join the scene, therefore more females over time, therefore eventually females can cohesively play with men. Now, that doesn't mean women don't compete against males. Like, most of my competition is against mixed teams. Like, 90% of my competition is against mixed CS. But I do go to female tournaments, and we are a female team. So, yeah, I hope that kind of answers your question. I think having female tournaments is just a stepping stone, and I do think that the end goal is to get women to play with men at the highest level. But we're just not there yet, and I think people need to see their realistics. They're what's it called? They need to be more realistic with how times are now. So I hope that answers your question. That's how I take it. Dude, I should honestly make a fucking YouTube video just so I could link it every time. But I did do like some interviews.